Ladies and gentlemen, it's now official. Fred Matiang'i will be on the ballot in 2027. And Kenyans can't keep calm. Kenyans are overjoyed. In this video, I want to explain to you guys why Kenyans are excited at the possibility of Fred Matiang'i being on the ballot in 2027. Earlier this week, I paid very close attention to Richard Onyonka while addressing the residents of Mandera, and I thought he was just passing a message of goodwill.
Ukija Kisii, jamii ya Msomali iko. Ni marafiki, ni watu ambao tunafanya biashara nao, ni watu ambao tuko nao kisiasa. Wao wamekuja wakaingia huko ODM. Wao ndio wamekuwa wakiniuliza, unataka Onyonka, mbona mnanyamaza namna hii? Simlete huyo Matiang'i. Matiang'i amewatumia salamu na yeye anataka kuwa president ya Kenya. Salimia yeye. Mnasalimia yeye. Mnasalimia yeye. Haya basi.
Today, Richard Onyonka again said this.
Wataniuliza niongee vile nimesema. Sisi kama jamii ya Omogusi tumeamua candidate yetu ya urais hapa nchini Kenya 2027 elections anaitwa Dr. Fred Matiang'i Okengo. Na tena hatusongi nyuma. We will continue. We have decided that if you have a dysfunctional country, that institutions are not ready to share the cake equitably, then you must look for alternatives. How you will force those who are in power to share those resources with you equitably. And one of the approaches, we will set our own political party. We will go and negotiate. We know Fred Matiang'i is going to win, but he cannot win alone. We are going to talk to everybody. We are going to talk to Kalonzo. We will talk to Gachagua. We will talk to Uhuru. We will even talk to Raila. We will tell them it is now our time, because where we are, this country requires to look for us also from the small clans. Even as who are without the numbers, we need to be given an opportunity to show what we can do. Usawa na mwakitua kwa nabo. Muanchera nile. Nyorokio kawako igangende. Biamono sana.
And in a separate event, Richard Onyonka said this again.
Mheshimiwa Rais William Ruto, jana niliona ukituchekelea unasema kuwa sisi tumeanza kutetemeka kwa sababu utatushinda kura. I say, boss, vitu kwa ground ni mbaya. Boss, Mr. President, let me tell you and give you simple advice. If you continue abducting our children, if you continue having unfair distribution of national resources to individuals and people, and you leave some of us out of it, we will not vote for you. Your Excellency, when you see a woman who is telling you that SHA and SHIF and SHA are not working, then you abduct her, you arrest her because you want to discipline her. It means you've lost legitimacy. Your Excellency, where we come from, the Kisii community believes in excellence. The Kisii community has produced the best lawyers like Okongo Mogeni, the best judges like Judge Maraga. We have produced our good professors and doctors, and we expect excellence from you. We don't expect mediocrity. And that is why, Your Excellency, I want to tell you, we as a community, even when we are not tribal, where we believe in the country called Kenya, a country that believes in fairness, equity, and democracy, we now have a candidate, and his name is Fred Matiang'i. Sasa Mheshimiwa Rais, sasa wewe jipange. Ujipange na sisi tutakupanga. Usema no. Teriboigo.
One thing I know for sure is that Richard Onyonka is a very close ally of Fred Matiang'i. Let us leave Onyonka out of this a bit and go to Kisii Governor Simba Arati. Last week, Simba Arati said something and I did an analysis about that speech. And from that analysis, if you followed it, I opined that the Kisii opinion leaders have actually agreed that they are going to rally behind Fred Matiang'i. And Simba Arati had to issue a serious warning to Raila Odinga, and he warned that Kisii numbers will have to count in 2027.
It's unfortunate. Now, ndio unaona mtu analeta kwa TV. There's people scaring us. You know, us, we have the numbers. We want to tell you we have numbers and we are going to ask our people going forward. This vote must account. Unajua kuna wakati mpaka watu they miss the times of the late Mzee Nyachai. I think we are going back there. Hakuna mtu pia atacheza na sisi. Sisi pia tuko. We are part and parcel. Bwana Chirichiri. We are part and parcel of this country. Na lazima watu wengine pia waelewe namna hiyo. Wewe Kisii, the Omogusi community, and I want to say this. Omogusi community, the registered voters in Kisii is around 700,000. Nyamira, 300. That's 1 million. 1 million. Then, if you check around the country, Nairobi, we have around 300,000. You go around the country, there is close to 1.1, around another 1 million registered voters. We have close to 2 million. We don't have numbers. I want to request you, give birth.
Again today, in Kisii, is it Nyamira? This gentleman here you are seeing here is Simba Arati's point person in Kisii. He was in Nyamira, where Onyonka delivered that message. And this message was also very clear, that they are going to rally behind Fred Matiang'i.
Intumura abasaeba Kisii County tumechitolea kwa ukakamafu na abasaeba Nyamira igotobwate nchiringa. We want the unity of purpose na tumechitolea mwanga. Tutatembea nchi yetu ya Kenya kwa ukakamafu kuhakikisha kwamba Mkenya amekuja pamoja na kumsaidia Mheshimiwa Fred Matiang'i kuwa rais wa 6 wa nchi yetu ya Kenya.
Which means the Gusii community have settled on Fred Matiang'i. So the only thing now remaining is for them is to release Matiang'i to go out there. Unfortunately, I listened to that speech by Onyonka. Matiang'i should not be projected as a Kisii presidential candidate. Just like I want Matiang'i not to accept to be branded as Uhuru Kenyatta's candidate. In this video, I want to reveal to you guys why Kenyans are overjoyed by the fact that Fred Matiang'i will be on the ballot in 2027. But if we do that, for those who are watching this channel for the first time, please take a second or two, click that subscribe button so that next time we produce a video like this, YouTube will automatically notify you. And to the subscribers, I want to continue thanking you guys for your continued support. Because without that support, this channel cannot be where it is. Ladies and gentlemen, without any further ado, allow me to dive it. But again, allow me to also take this opportunity to thank those who contributed to Jaylene Otieno. For those who follow this channel, I appealed to the subscribers here to donate something small to Jaylene Otieno, a 2-year-old boy admitted at Avenue Hospital in Kisumu. By the time I was making the request, he had been in ICU for over 1 week. The good news is that he's been now moved from ICU to the general ward, but the bill is still continuing. So far, these are the people who contributed. We are actually keeping this list. I just received this from the mother. I was there. These are the people who have contributed. These are the people who have contributed so far. Some are here. So far, we've received from you guys 67,000 from the Lee group here. She's very grateful, and of course, I know we'll be able to go through. So I still want to appeal to you guys, anyone who is still willing to And I still want to appeal to you guys, anyone who is still willing to contribute, please just contribute any amount of money. If you check at this list, for example, the first person contributed 200, the second person 100, the next one 200. I can see 5,000 here, I can see 2,000 here, I can see 50 bob here, I can see 500 bob here, I can see 1,000 bob here, I can see 300 bob there. There's even someone who contributed 15,000, 50 bob, that 300, that 200 shillings. Please just send it. You want to help the mother. At least you are able to reduce the figure by around 400,000 the other day. At least now, since he's out of ICU, the bill is not that much. Ladies and gentlemen, why is the announcement by Onyonka exciting Kenyans? Number one, Fred Matiang'i's bid actually provides a chance for small communities in the Republic of Kenya to produce a president. And for a small community to produce a president in the Republic of Kenya, it simply means that they must get the support from the big communities. Which means if Matiang'i were to succeed as a presidential candidate and becomes the next president, at least small communities shall have been supported by the bigger communities. And this will change the politics of the Republic of Kenya completely. And I want to appeal to the small communities that finally they have a candidate. The big communities, this is also a chance for Kenyans to look at the presidency in a different angle. If someone from the bigger community will be re-elected or will win, the better. But it means Kenyans will now have opportunity to choose the right candidate. Number two, Fred Matiang'i also provides Kenyans with options. The option of picking based on other factors other than the tribal arithmetics. If you were to look back from 2002, 2007, 2013, 2017, 2022, big tribes, 2-horse race. At least now, if William Ruto will be on the ballot, Kalonzo will be on the ballot, let's say Matiang'i will be on the ballot, we are going to have at least 3 or 4 horse races, which means Kenyans will now have a wider pool to pick from, which means ultimately the best candidate is likely to emerge as the winner. And that will be a big win for the entire country. So for me, the fact that Kenyans will now have a bigger pool to pick from, rather than picking Raila Uhuru, Raila Ruto, Raila Kibaki, at least Kenyans will have more options. And at least I also know that from the mountain, since they will not produce a presidential candidate, at least they now have to decide whether to vote Ruto in or to vote for Matiang'i. Number 3 is the Gen Z factor. You see, the Gen Z of the Republic of Kenya will be the biggest voting bloc in 2027. That is the fact. But who is the Gen Z candidate? Omkata has declared. I know the candidature of Gachagua the 5th will also excite the Gen Zs. Matiang'i is also a good option for them. So which means even the Gen Zs will now have options to pick from. They can pick Matiang'i, they can pick Omtata, they can pick Gachagua the 5th. If Kibasa Morara will be on the ballot, it means they will also they'll also have the opportunity to pick Morara. But I think the entry of Fred Matiang'i is now probably going to be, in my view, the choice of the Gen Zs. Number 4, Fred Matiang'i, in my view, is the best bet for a compromise candidate. One of the biggest questions Kenyans have been asking without finding solution is that William Ruto is the easiest president to remove from office. But who can remove William Ruto from office? Can that person be Kalonzo Musyoka? Most people don't believe Kalonzo can do that, because if you are to take even right now, you have Kalonzo and Rigathi Gachagua. Who do you think is playing the role of the official opposition? You'll agree that so far, Rigathi has overtaken Kalonzo Musyoka and is now heading with that trophy. Kalonzo Musyoka is not moving around. At least for Matiang'i now, we are seeing Onyonka. We are seeing the key leaders coming out. The information is now coming out from them that we are going to have a candidate. What about Kalonzo? And lastly, is what I call the Mount Kenya factor in 2027 presidential elections. The truth of the matter is that the mountain will be a bigger factor in 2027 presidential elections. How are they going to vote? So which means 2027 presidential elections, the outcome will be determined by the mountain. How are they going to vote? Who are they going to vote for? Ladies and gentlemen, I don't know what you think, but for me, Fred Matiang'i's candidature provides Kenyans with a better option. It provides Kenyans with more options. It provides Kenyans with more choices. So which means in 2027, if Kenyans were to make a mistake, they will blame themselves. They will not blame any other person. But for me, I think probably likely I'm going to have a candidate in the name of Fred Matiang'i. I had initially really wanted to support Kalonzo, but I don't see Kalonzo as a serious presidential candidate. Ladies and gentlemen, until next time, this is Lee Makwiny. Bye-bye.